Hey, good morning, everybody. It's been a couple weeks since we've done a video, so I'm looking forward to giving you some new and fresh news. So we are in the middle of the hot month of July, and I hope you're all trying to stay cool and enjoy the summer as we go through it. A couple points I wanted to share with you. First, and you may have read about this one in the latest GVRA newsletter, but we're real excited that our Business Enterprise Program, BEP, opened up a Micro Mart at the DAS Stone Mountain location. It's a really neat concept. It's a cashless snack bar, if you will, that's got sandwiches, salads, all kinds of good eats, but you don't use any cash. You use little debit cards, if you will, and to process them. And so that, I think we had the grand opening a couple weeks ago. I've heard good things about it. And prior to that, really the folks at Stone Mountain, and we have about over 300 people who work at that facility, really had no place close by where they could go get lunch. And now the Micro Mart is open all day at their convenience. They can go in and out. So thank you, BEP, for doing that for DAS, but that's some exciting news. Secondly, I want to tell you about a new effort we're making with what in our state is referred to as the Centers for Independent Living. They're sometimes called CILs, C-I-L. There are 9 of them in our state. There are still pockets of the state where there are not centers for independent living. We have always been able to fund them in part in the past, but we've really never had a real strong relationship with them. And at our leadership summit several weeks ago, we invited all of the directors of the 9 Centers for Independent Living, as well as the director and the board chair for the statewide Independent Living Council. We had a great meeting. All the program directors were there, and we have pledged to really focus on improving and building a stronger relationship between our services and what the Centers for Independent Living offer, because we often see the same clients, and as we all know, even though we're primarily tied to employment is really a vehicle for independence, and so independence is just as much a part of our mission at the agency. So I just want to let you know that we will be investing some energy and time going to visit all of those 9 Centers for Independent Living, because we do feel they've got a lot to offer us, and we look forward to growing that relationship. I wanted to give you some positive news also about, and you may have heard me mention this in the past, about some of the strategic agreements we've entered into. First and foremost, with the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. We've been working on this with Commissioner Berry and his staff over at DBHDD for several years now, and we just, within the last couple months, actually, Commissioner Berry and I executed an agreement on the behavioral health side to continue to expand the pilot that VR has been doing with the mental health providers. It will allow us to add 14 certified rehab counselors who will have a specialty in mental illness. And the goal is to work with over up to 720 individuals with severe and persistent mental illness over the next year. Lee Davis is the mental health or behavioral health specialist in VR who's been heading up that project, and Lee and the folks that have been working with Lee have done a great job. The advantage of this agreement is that DBHD is actually giving us about $265,000 of their state money, which will be matchable for us. It will allow us to draw down another $800,000 in federal grant money. And we are equally close to signing an agreement also with DBHDD, but on the developmental disability side, the DD side. We've been working again through Frank Kirkland and Byron Sarton at DBHDD, and we're very close to executing this agreement, in which they will actually give us a little over $500,000 of their state money, which will allow us to bring down about an additional $2 million in our federal grant in terms of match money. And the goal there will be to hire 12 CRC counselors in VR that have a specialty in developmental disabilities, as well as 4 benefits specialists, and to build the capacity to serve individuals with a significant disability of developmental disability. The goal is to be able to serve from 30 to 120 of them over the next year with their provider community. So that's really an exciting thing about our future, is finding these partnerships. And then the last partnership I wanted to mention to you is one that we've had for years, really through Warm Springs, and that's our relationship with the State Department of Education. And for years, they have been very kind in helping fund the salary and benefits of teachers at Warm Springs who provide academic remediation for our clients at Warm Springs. We just learned last week that the State Department of Education, their board approved a grant to GVRA, and the grant is a little over $1.3 million, which will allow us to fund up to 14 teacher positions. Most of those will be at Warm Springs and Cave Springs. However, we also are going to use that money to fund 4 teachers at the new post-secondary inclusion programs, Kennesaw State, Columbus State, East Central Georgia, and UGA. And the good news is that $1.3 million is also matchable to our federal grants. So that will allow us to draw down an additional $4 million. So all told, these agreements are going to total close to $10 million of new money for GVRA. So I'm very appreciative for that. And then finally, my comments, and I'll try to make these brief, but this coming Sunday, July 26th, is actually the 25th anniversary of the American with Disabilities Act, the ADA, which was signed into law in 1990. This was the signature legislation that those of us in rehabilitation thought was really going to open up the doors of employment. It's hard to believe it's been 25 years. I'm sure you've been following all of John's updates in the daily update about a lot of the celebration that's been going on, not just in our state, but around the country, celebrating 25 years of ADA and really acknowledging the struggle that people with disabilities have had in our country to find meaningful employment. So just to bring it to your attention, this Sunday, July 26th, is the actual date of the 25th anniversary. With that, I'll close for today. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and thank you for all you do.